So today what I want to do is talk to you about all the different types of implant cases that we can do with the inLab software. The inLab 15 really has let us do things that we've been asking for a long time to be able to do. Now we don't have to have multiple softwares anymore. We can do it all, and the majority of it with the inLab system. So we're going to take this particular case as an example. This is a digital impression from a CEREC OmniCam. So what happens is the doctor places what's called a scan post in the mouth. The scan post sits up above the tissue. It has a little notch on it. Then they put a scan body on the top. They'll go ahead and scan that particular scan body, send it to the lab. Oh, this doesn't work on that, but so you'll see that the plastic cap, that's the scan body. They'll go ahead and scan it, send it through Connect. In the digital prescription, they'll say, Nobel BioCare. This was a Nobel Active, I think 4.5 or 5.0 or something like that. That'll come with the prescription. And then now what do we do with this case? Well, we have many options. Do we want to do a screw retained crown? Do we want to do a cement retained crown? And with the inLab software, the MCXL and MCX5, there's many options. So I'm going to go through all the different types of things that we can do. So up at the top, we have what's called a tie-based kit. So what I do is when I get a case in, I'll go to pattersondental.com, and in the very top of the screen, I'll type in tie-base. All the list of the different manufacturers comes up. This was a Nobel BioCare Nobel Active. I'll just go ahead and click on Nobel BioCare, choose the size, and usually the next day I get it in. It's about $90 for this tie-base kit. It comes with the tie base, the screw, and the plastic cap. All right, so next, if I want to do a screw retained crown, we have a few options. We have an Emax implant block. It'll have a hole in the block. It'll also have a notch in the bottom of the block that corresponds to that tie base. The tie base has a notch. The block has a notch. Another option we have, if we have the MCX5, we can mill it out of a disc. So we'll design it full contour, put a disc in. It'll mill the notch in the bottom and the hole in the top. Okay. This block on the left, the Emax meso block's about $50 to $60. If I mill out full contour out of a disc, it's like $4. So you have those options. Then if we don't want to do a screw retained crown and we want to do an abutment and a crown, we have many options there as well. We have what's called a meso block on the left. It's a zirconia block with a hole in it, and it has the notch as well. Or if the doctor asks for an Emax abutment, we have a Emax meso block on the right, and that has the notch as well. So we decide what type of abutment we want, go ahead and mill it out. Then we have the top layer as well. We can do it out of Emax, zirconia, or whatever we want. In the MCX5, we can do the same thing. We can mill out the abutment and the crown, and it will mill out the notch as well. So we have many different options available, whether we have the MCXL or the MCX5. So if we're doing it screw retained, in the software and the administration phase, we just choose Nobel Active 5.0. Let it know what material we're going to use, if we're going to use the MCXL or MCX5. All you do is just design the crown, full contour, and arrow forward. I mean, it's the easiest crown to do, screw retained crown. Once you arrow forward, if you have the MCXL, you go ahead and just place in your meso block with a hole in it. If you have the MCX5, just throw a disc in there and mill it out. Cement retained, same thing, design the crown full contour. Then a split function is available. Just right click on the tooth. Your tool wheel will come up. Click split. You can put the margin wherever you want. You just go ahead and draw it. And it will split into a bottom framework structure and a top veneering structure. So for the bottom, again, it's your choice. There's many different options. If you just have an MCXL and don't have the MCX5, you can buy a zirconia meso block or an Emax meso block and mill out the top and the bottom layers. So for this particular case, we went ahead and split it into a bottom framework we went ahead and used a zirconia meso block on this and an Emax crown. So what if we get a bridge that comes in? This was a digital impression also. Doctor wanted 2 abutments and a layered zirconia bridge. The problem when you get a implant case in through Connect is you can't get a model. So you have to do everything model free. So you might be stressed, I'm like, oh, implant case, what am I gonna do? I need a model. So there is one way to get a model. You have to virtually seat the abutment. So this particular case, doctor wanted 2 zirconia abutments and a zirconia framework layered. So what do? In the administration, we'll go ahead and design our abutments first. So we'll go ahead and choose implant, framework, abutment, choose our 2, number 7 and 10, and design your abutments first. Get them where you want. Then you go back to the administration. Javier was up here earlier talking about virtual seat, and it is one of the greatest things to come back into the software because there's going to be a lot more opportunities that you can do with virtual seat. And it's very easy. You just go back to the administration. On the right-hand side of the screen, you click on virtual seat. Now those 2 abutments that you just designed are part of your model. Then if you want a 4-unit bridge, just like before, just go to Bridge Biogeneric, choose 7 through 10. Now those 2 abutments that you created before are seated on your model. So you can see right here, those 2 abutments are seated. Now this model can be printed or sent to be printed. So now we'll have a model to be able to do layering on. So go ahead and design our framework. And we'll mill our abutments and framework out of a disc on this particular case. We could have milled our abutments separately in the MCXL if we wanted to and milled this, wherever we want. So then what we'll do, cut them out of the disc. This particular case, we'll cement the tie bases, or the abutments to the tie base using multi-link implant hybrid abutment cement. And then we'll have our framework that ceramists can layer on the model. Screw retain bridges. This has really been obviously the hottest thing going on right now. Everybody can do a crown. Then abutments is a big deal, but screw retain bridges, I get calls all the time. So how do we do these? We cannot do screw retain bridges from an intraoral scan at this time. So these are all done on a model. So how does it work? We'll go ahead and choose implant, choose our implants, call it a bridge. Then we get to this step right here. So with the Sirona inLab system, we have a couple companies that we can work with. First one is Medentica and the other one is LMT Trading. Both companies I've done cases with. Both of them, it's very easy to order the parts. If you go to inlab.com, Facebook page or something like, or ask your TM, there's a chart that you can print out. And this chart has all the Medentica parts and all the LMT Trading parts. So all you do is, depending on which company you want, if it's LMT Trading, you just look, okay, this is Nobel Biocare 5.0. Go to the chart, it tells you what part to order for this particular case. All right, so then once you decide which company you want to go with, and again, both prices are different. The one thing I've noticed between LMT Trading and Medentica is Medentica has more parts. They have more sizes, more options, more heights. They're both very easy to use. They both have to have their own drivers. So when you order the parts the first time, make sure you get the LMT Trading implant driver. If you don't have that, you can't finish the case. All right, so once I look on my chart, I'll see, okay, I need a Nobel Active 5.0, so I'm going to order this particular part. What I'm going to get back from LMT Trading or Medentica is a multi-unit abutment, a screw, and a cap that's going to go on the inside of my screw retain bridge. Then I go and follow the chart, and it's going to tell me which type of scan body I need. It's very, there's only 2 scan bodies now per system that you need to buy, and they're like 60 bucks. So for NT trading, there's one for half of the implant types and one for the other half. So you just go ahead and purchase one. Even if you're doing all on 4, all on 6, or something like that, you're going to just need one scan post. So what do you do when you're scanning? The first thing you're going to do is take off all the parts and just have your tissue. So you're going to scan that in the gingival mask folder. Then scan your opposing, scan your buccal bite. On the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to go to Add Catalog, and you're going to add a scan body catalog. Once you do that, it's going to give you directions on the screen. It's very easy to do a screw retain case, because you always just follow what it asks you to do. Okay, it'll say place model on holder, and you have to scan with the INEOS X5. You can't use the INEOS Blue because it has to be more accurate. So we'll go ahead and put our model on, we'll screw in all our multi-unit abutments, put our model on the INEOS X5, hit scan. It does an initial scan first. Then it brings the model up to the front, and it tilts it up so it's facing you. Then it says click on scan body. So what you do is you just grab your scan post, screw it on the first spot, double click on that area, and it does a scan of that area. Then it comes back up to the front. It says, okay, put in spot number 2. Unscrew it, put it in the second spot, do the same thing. So you only need one scan post to do the whole thing. All right, so now we have our case scanned. All the catalogs merge and we arrow forward. And then we go ahead and design our bridge like normal. Nothing special about it, just normal bridge design. You can see on the inside of our bridge, if we make it transparent, you can see the little cap that's going to go on the inside of this bridge. So for this particular case, you could mill it out full contour. This was done out of, I believe, Bruxer. You can see it mills the holes. So here's the parts that you get from either NT Trading or Medentica. We have in the middle the multi-unit abutments. On the right, we have the caps that go, the inserts that go on the inside of my bridge. They're going to go right there, be cemented in that area. Then we have the screw that's going to go down through the top and then into the multi-unit abutment. So in the model or in the mouth, we'll go ahead and screw in our multi-unit abutments. That particular implant driver, you're going to have to buy the first time for your dentist, because if they don't have this NT Trading or Medentica driver, they can't do anything with this case, because those particular multi-unit abutments have to have that driver. Can't use Nobel or anything like that. So I go ahead and send one to my dentist, and I just charge them with the case for that particular driver. I don't let them borrow it, because what if that patient has to come back or something like that, and then they don't have a driver, they can't do anything with it. So we just screw in our multi-unit abutments, then we put in our bridge, and then through the top of the holes, we go ahead and screw in our screws. It's very easy to do, so much easier than before. So like Javier was talking about earlier, now we can do not just small bridges, but larger bridges. This is probably one of the most asked for restorations now that I've been getting, is they want, oh, hey, can we do all on 4 cases? Hey, can we do cases with gingiva? And now we can. So how does this work? In the very beginning in the administration, you have to choose tissue in the beginning. So you just choose the regular implant bridge, choose tissue, design your bridge full contour. It asks, hey, draw the margin for the tissue. So you just go ahead and draw where you want it to end. It'll propose with the tissue. And then you can manipulate the tissue with your tools just like normal. So let's say I have a case where, you know, the doctor wants a titanium abutment instead. Everything else that's zirconia I can do in my lab. don't have to send it out. But if they want a titanium abutment, I can't do that at my lab. But now we can send it to Atlantis to get done. I really love this. This is one of my favorite things that has come out lately. How it works is you have to scan it with the INEOS X5 scanner. Just like normal, first thing you do is put your model on the scanner, take all the parts out except for the tissue, and scan that in the gingival mass catalog. Next thing you do is, let's say it's Nobel Biocare Place Select 4.3. You look on Atlantis chart. It'll say, okay, use, I think it's like, whatever, FO1. So you grab the FO1 flow, it's called, instead of a scan pose, it's called a flow. Put it on your model, and you're going to scan that in the upper jaw catalog. Okay? Then, just go ahead and scan your opposing. You can go ahead and scan a pre-op model if you have that as well. When you send to Atlantis, you only can send 2 units. So you can't send like a 4-unit bridge or 4 different implants on the same case. It only can be 2. So if you have a second one, you have to scan that particular flow in the biocopy catalog, because you can't put 2 on one model. You have to do 1 at a time. So if you have 2 teeth next to it, add a catalog biocopy upper or whatever, and scan it in there. All right, next thing, you're going to get your case scanned. You have to edit the model for this particular case. If you try to send this to Atlantis without editing your model, it'll get rejected. So how do you do that? Go to the edit model screen and you position it so that you see the hole on the top. Right click and choose your replace tool. Make a circle around the hole and click apply, then it flattens out that particular hole. So you can see on the picture on the right, barely, that there is no hole in the top. That's how you have to send it. All right, so once I have my model scanned, I minimize the screen and double click on the Atlantis scan upload. It's just an icon that you can download from Atlantis website. Don't have to pay anything extra for it or whatever. These flows up here you do have to pay for. They're not that expensive. You can start off just getting the ones that you need. You don't have to buy the whole kit. All right, so go ahead and open up my Atlantis scan upload screen, and then it says go ahead and upload your STL file. Before I get there, once I have my model done over here, you just export it as an STL. You don't have to have the STL license for this, because when you scan with the INEOS X5 scanner, it lets you export the model as an STL. So when I export this at the top, it sends the upper jaw, the lower jaw, biocopy jaw, gingival mask jaw, and it puts it in a folder. Okay? So then when I open up my Atlantis screen, it says, okay, where's your upper jaw? You just go to your desktop, find your upper jaw, it loads it. Then it says, okay, do your lower jaw, same thing. Once I do that, you hit send, it sends it to Atlantis. At this time, it checks to make sure the hole's covered, that it can read the scan post, and if it does, then it opens up another screen. This screen will come up. Here you choose what type of implant it was. If you want titanium, gold-hued titanium, zirconia. Then right here, the biggest deal for me is the Atlantis core file you can order as well. What the core file is they pretty much design the abutment, then they send you the file back. The file that comes back to you has the abutment already on the model. So you don't have to wait and get the abutment back, put it on your model, and scan it. It just sends it back to you. So I'll go ahead and import that in. On the right-hand side of the screen, I'll open up a new case, go to the scan phase, go to the right and click Import Model. So then I'll import the model that they sent me. They'll send you an email back with the design of the abutment, and they'll send it's called a core file. You double click and open the core file. Right now with Atlantis, just in case you try it and it doesn't work, they'll send you a different company's file. All you have to do is change it to a .zip at the end. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but once you just change it to a .zip and open it up, then it will let the inLab software import the upper and lower jaws. So I just click import the case in. Go ahead and design my top. I think this one, doctor wanted a gold crown. So design my gold crown. For this particular case, I don't do any gold in-house anymore. We send them all to strategy milling. It's very easy to do. They come back pretty much done, and it takes no time for me. You can order 2% or 50%. I think this was like a 2%. So I ordered Monday morning, ordered my abutment, and got the core file back. It's amazing how fast it comes back. It was back in a couple hours. Go ahead and design my crown, send it to strategy milling, got them both back by Wednesday. So it's very fast and it's very cost effective. Oops. So main thing I wanted to do today is open it up for questions about any implant questions you have with the inLab software. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm here to help as much as I can.
Are they able to, down the road, do any encode abutments?
Encode abutments?
Yeah, are you able to, I know it's pretty much proprietary, but are they able to scan those and?
Pretty much when the doctor scans the encode healing
Yeah, like if we have
cap.
the model already and we, pour it up with the healing cap, can you scan those and send those on?
Right now the doctor could do that, send it directly to them and have it done, but you'll have to ask them. Every company pretty much is open. It seems like it's opening up more and more. A couple of my friends have done that and sent it off, and I know if you're a CEREC doctor, you can scan it in the mouth, and send it directly to them as well.
It does have to go to biomet though.
Yep.
And nobody else can do that.
Mm-mm. No, I haven't really got involved with them that much because of that. It was just a pain. I'd rather them just send me an impression and do it myself. Yep. Of course. No, it's amazing what you can do now. Yeah, you could do it now if you wanted to. You can do anything you want pretty much with the inLab software. If you could just design it full contour and then just reduce the teeth all the way, and then now you would have the tissue.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions, guys?
Yes.
Is it the software that when you said you can only do 1 or 2 abutments for the Atlantis?
Right.
Is it the
It's Atlantis that says you only can send 1 at a time. But there's a way to get around only sending 1, is if you choose biocopy and scan that file in the biocopy folder, then you're able to scan or send 2. It's Atlantis that only wants you to send 1 at a time, but you can do 2.
Okay.
If it's more than 2, they want you to send the model and them scan it themselves.
Okay.
You mentioned that you can send STL files from the
Yes, if you scan with the INEOS X5 scanner, it lets you export as an STL.
any system,
Yes, any open system.
system that you don't have to have a license for that?
Not if it's scanned with the INEOS X5 scanner. No.
What if it comes
Importing that, like I had to import that core file, I have to have the license for that. You have to have the interface license for that.
if you get it from the doctor? Or
So if I purchase the interface license, which lets me send and receive any STL file, it doesn't matter if they have iTero, E4D, plan scan, whatever. As long as they can generate a STL, I can import it in. Just do that one page where on the scan phase, you just click on import.
once I have the license, which I'm in the process of getting right now, I'll be able to transfer between any scanner I want to, go back and forth?
just so we can,
Oh.
so everybody can hear.
That's
your
okay.
question.
So your question is, can you import any?
Import and export.
As long as it's an STL, you can import it. Doesn't matter what
From-
scanner it was from.
Okay, as long as I have a license, I can export between different
Yes.
scanners.
Yep.
Okay. Good. I
And
did.
that's exporting just the model, correct?
It depends where you export from. So if you export from the top of the screen, as an STL, it sends the model. If you're in the mill preview and you have the crown designed and you click export there, it sends the restoration.
You would need the open restoration for that, for sending just the restoration.
Yep. But now it's all, I think, all one package where you used to have to buy like the model separate and then the STL separate.
So it's all
It's all incorporated now, so it's one license and everything there.
Yep. Okay.
It's gonna be out there, so bear with me on it.
Okay.
With the merger with Dentsply,
Yep.
I have doctors that, we have 3Shape and Dental Wings, and so we have doctors now that have these Apollo, or they have, but it's length on that.
Itera.
No. Omnicam, thank
Okay.
you. They want to do the implant work.
Okay.
I have to run through Dental Wings. How am I going to be able to, are they going to be able to utilize their scanner, intraoral scanner, utilizing the flows or the scan
Okay.
bodies, send it to me, and I'll be able to transform those into and
No,
accept those files?
You can always accept them. I know what you're saying. If you want to design them with the Sirona tie bases, okay, and use the inLab system, they would use the Sirona tie bases.
I would use Atlantis.
But let's say you wanted to use, Atlantis has an intraoral flow now
Yes.
available, not for inLab, but for other systems.
Right.
All they have to do, it doesn't matter if they're scanning with Omnicam, that's fine. They just put your flow, they can put any Joe Schmo flow in there and scan it and send it to the inLab software. All you have to do is export it as an STL and then open it in your software.
Right. And is that a license?
Yes, you have to. So if I get an Omnicam scan in and I want to send that model out somewhere, you have to have the import-export license.
Okay.
You have to. But
What is the cost on that, or is that, I'm sure that's probably an unfair question to you, but.
I
It's a
think it's like
yearly-
$3,000.
It's a yearly fee. It's $2,900 a year, but it is completely open both ways,
Okay. Completely.
completely.
No, it's really good to have because I use that all the time. Just importing and exporting to different softwares. And now it was very annoying to me before when it was closed, and I couldn't import and export what I wanted to. But now, I mean, literally, doesn't matter if you have other softwares, you can, go back and forth. So it's pretty cool.
So, any more questions, guys?
I have a quick one.
Yep.
I use tie-base both from Stroman and Sonar.
Okay.
Okay, Stroman said they have a tie-base, a cat body they produced and sent it out to Sonar to incorporate with the software. Do you hear anything about the
Yeah. Right.
coming out soon or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, if you want to do the Strawman, you can't use their Vario base at this time. It's not really their cap's not going to work.
Well,
So you
fits, but it's big.
yeah. No, there will be a update that will fix that,
Okay.
but it's going to be not too long.
But Stroman has a Sonar tie-base.
Correct.
Yeah, so that I can use, but I can't use the other one because the diameter is
Yeah, you
small.
can use the Sirona, Strawman,
Yep.
bone level, tie base.
Yep.
But not the Strawman.
Stroman's tie
parts,
base. Yeah. Could use
original
that,
tie
but
base,
it's
yes.
loose.
Yeah, it won't work. Don't even try it.
All right. Any more questions, guys? Or gals?
And then I'll be at the booth all day today if you have questions about anything in-lab related, implants, whatever you want, or if you want me to show you something on the software today, I'll be there all day. So, well, we have 4 booths down there. Yep.
So, all right, guys. Big round of applause for Jay Black. Thank you so much, Jay. We really appreciate it.